Why do so many brilliant, capable, independent women find themselves stuck in a loop, emotionally addicted to men who aren't even good for them? Let's be clear, this isn't about being weak, it's not about being naive, it's about deep-seated psychology. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the psychology of women's emotional addiction to men, the hidden cycle that traps millions without them even realizing it. This isn't just a video, it's a map to understanding a powerful, often invisible, force that can dictate our happiness and our choices. So, if you've ever felt like you couldn't let go, even when you knew you should, stay with me. What you're about to learn could change everything. Let's start with the brain. When you first connect with someone, your brain throws a party. It releases a cocktail of powerful chemicals, dopamine, which creates that feeling of intense pleasure and reward, serotonin, which makes you feel calm and happy, and oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which fosters deep bonding and attachment. For women, oxytocin is particularly potent. It isn't just released during intimate moments. It can surge from a simple hug, a prolonged, meaningful look, or a single word of reassurance. This chemical flood makes you feel on top of the world, connected and secure. But here's the dangerous part, the hidden trap. Your brain doesn't distinguish between healthy affection and toxic attention. That rush of feel-good chemicals can be triggered just as easily by a sweet text from a man who is inconsistent, unreliable, or even emotionally harmful as it can from genuine, stable love. Your brain just registers the hit, and just like with any addictive substance, once it gets that hit, it starts to crave it again and again. You begin to associate that person with that incredible feeling of euphoria, and the cycle of addiction begins, all under the surface, driven by pure chemistry. Now, an addiction isn't just built on the good times. In fact, it's the difficult times, the lows, that make it so powerful. Think about it. When that man suddenly pulls away, goes silent, or withholds the affection you've grown accustomed to, your brain doesn't just feel sad. It goes into a state of withdrawal. Your anxiety spikes. Cortisol, the stress hormone, floods your system. You become obsessed, replaying every conversation, checking your phone constantly, your mind consumed with one question: when will he come back? This state of unease and panic is excruciating. And then, just when you think you can't take it anymore, he returns. Maybe it's a simple text, a brief phone call, or a small gesture of attention. The moment he does, the relief that washes over you is overwhelming. It's like a desert wanderer finding an oasis. Your brain gets another hit of dopamine, not just from the attention itself, but from the relief of the anxiety ending. This is the push-pull cycle, the intermittent reinforcement that cements the addiction. Your brain learns a dark, twisted equation: pain, followed by relief, equals attachment. It's a cruel feedback loop that convinces you the bond is stronger than it is, simply because the emotional whiplash is so intense. But emotional addiction isn't just chemical. It's also deeply tied to our ego and sense of self-worth. For many women, a challenging relationship can unconsciously transform into a test of their value. A voice in the back of their mind whispers, "If I can just win him over, if I can fix his issues, if I can make him stay and love me properly, then it proves that I am worthy. I am enough." This is a critical and dangerous shift. The focus moves away from the health of the relationship and onto a battle for personal validation. The core question is no longer, "Is he good for me? Does this relationship make me happy?" Instead, the addicted mind asks, "Am I good enough for him? What can I do to make him choose me?" This shift keeps women locked in cycles they know are destructive. They pour more energy, more time, and more emotion into a losing battle, not because they are addicted to the man himself, but because they have become addicted to the quest of proving their own worth, through him. The relationship is no longer about partnership, it's about her identity, and letting go feels like admitting defeat, like accepting she wasn't good enough. On top of the brain chemistry and the ego-driven battles, we have to talk about cultural conditioning. This programming starts so early that we often don't even notice it. From fairy tales to movies to subtle societal messages, many women are raised with the underlying idea that a significant part of their value is tied to their ability to attract, keep, and satisfy a man. Being chosen by a man is framed as the ultimate prize, a confirmation of desirability and worth. This isn't a conscious belief for most modern women, but it operates in the background, like an old program running on a computer. So, when a man becomes inconsistent, withholding, or toxic, this deep-seated conditioning can kick into high gear. Instead of recognizing his behavior as a red flag about him, the conditioned mind interprets it as a reflection of her, own failing. The thought process becomes, if I lose his attention, I am losing my value. I must have done something wrong. This toxic belief makes women chase relationships that are actively hurting them. They double down on their efforts, trying to be more appealing, more accommodating, more perfect, instead of stopping to question the fundamental premise. Why should my worth depend on anyone else's approval in the first place? So how do you break free from something so deeply ingrained? Breaking an emotional addiction isn't about flipping a switch and cutting off all feelings overnight. That's unrealistic. It's about consciously and methodically reprogramming your brain and nervous system. The first, most crucial step is awareness, recognizing the cycle of highs and withdrawals for what it is. When you feel that spike of anxiety because he's gone quiet, name it. This is withdrawal. When you feel that rush of relief when he texts back, name that too. This is my brain getting its hit. Seeing the pattern is the first step to dismantling it. Next, you must begin the work of reclaiming your self-worth and detaching it from male validation. This is the core of the work. It involves asking yourself, who am I without his approval? What makes me valuable, interesting, and whole, all on my own? This isn't an easy question, but it's the most important one. Finally, you have to actively replace the drug of toxic attention with healthier sources of connection and dopamine. This means pouring energy back into your friendships, rediscovering your passions and hobbies, and finding a sense of purpose that comes from within. Tools like therapy, journaling, and building a strong, supportive community are not just helpful, they are essential. They provide the structure and support needed to break a loop that literally lives in your nervous system. It's hard work, but it is absolutely possible. To be clear, the psychology of women's emotional addiction to men has nothing to do with weakness. It's a powerful convergence of biology, ego, and culture. It's our brain's reward system being hijacked, our ego's need for validation being exploited, and years of subtle cultural messaging coming home to roost. It's a perfect storm that can trap even the strongest among us. But the most beautiful thing about this knowledge is that once you see the cycle, you can no longer unsee it. You gain the power to break it. And when you finally break that cycle, you're not just walking away from a man who wasn't right for you. You are walking back into the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. If this video opened your eyes or resonated with you, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more content that empowers you, and share this with someone who you think needs to hear this message. Because knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.